Hey guys, what's up? He is Threatening here, and we are back with Bound by Flame. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Bound by Flame Pyromancer skill tree, as well as the new screenshots, some of my new takes on it, and part of one of the new videos of Bound by Flame. So let's get straight into it. Now, this is the skill tree of the Pyromancer, the Ranger, and the Fighter. They were previously named the Warrior and the Shadowmancer, which is what I think is a bit strange about Bound by Flame. They're changing the names quite a bit. For instance, the Pure Blades, the mercenary organization, were renamed to the Freeborn Blades. But if you look on some of their old pages, it still says the Pure Blades. Now, for the Pyromancer skill tree, how I think this is going to work is you will spend, say, 5 humanity to get 5 skill points to spend in the Pyromancer trees. If you calculate how many skills are already here, you will come at the conclusion of 15, not including the higher skill. Now, the higher skill, as we can see at the top of the screen here, top of the skill tree line, now this skill will probably take 10 humanity to unlock because that will get a total of 25 humanity from you. This will allow you to advance to the amateur pyromancer skills, then the expert, then the master. Now, what I think is interesting here is that if you calculate this, you'll get to 100% demon. If you focus entirely on the pyromancer, you will become 100% demon exactly. So that's how I think this is going to work. Now, the final perk of the demon skill tree on the master level will probably not be an unlocking skill tree. And when you get it, you will spend the last 10 humanity you have, and you will get a massive bonus to all of your pyromancer abilities, turning you essentially into a demon flame tank. Now, this is what I really like in Bound by Flame, the versatility that it brings. We also see Ranger and Fighter here with their own unique abilities. Now let's move on to part of the skill tree in Bound by Flame. This is what I found very interesting in the combat menu. We see the combat here, of course, hacking up some Deadwalkers. But if you look in the upper hand corner, you can see that he's level 37. Then he has an active effect. Now the active effects is displayed directly above health, as you can see here with the center red mark around him. That is probably a specialization ability like Berserk or something. We can also see that he can level up now. The big exclamation mark there is most definitely the fact that he can level up. It's probably some kind of XP bar. We also see down at the bottom of the screen here, this is on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4. Probably PlayStation 4. Anyway, we see hotkeys, as you can probably hotkey special abilities. We see fire weapons hotkey, as well as advanced fire weapons. I'm not sure about the second one, that square is hotkeyed on, that looks like flame weapons, but the circle is already on massive flame weapons, while the X button is a trap. We also see the menu here. Now, one of the things that I dislike about Bound by Flame is the fact that it's very much a corridor thing once you're inside areas like this. It's like the old temple in Dragon Age Origins that was pretty much a corridor for the whole way. Cool as it was still pretty much a corridor, which is a little bit annoying. I mean, this is next gen, we're talking about open it up. Also, we see the button L2 here, which is probably the button you'll need to activate to get to the menu to activate these talents, like Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning did. Also, we'll play a little bit further into the video just for your benefit. Also, we see here a map toggle button. You probably will be able to toggle the map on and off. Now, we see it smashing through here, some guys on fire. Now, if we pause right here, you'll notice he's level 23. That's quite a bit below the level he was at before. He also has a different set of toggles here, so he's definitely a different character. The health bar up here in the top indicates a boss's HP. We also see his XP isn't quite there yet. Also, he's taken some spirit damage, it looks like, if you check the top corner. I don't know if you can see that very well. I'll keep playing the video for a split second. He's dodging back to avoid them, showing all of the skill trees in the game. Now, if you look here, we see what looks like zombified humans before they even become Deadwalkers. Now, that looks very similar to one of the screenshots that I have later in the game. It looks very similar to this screenshot and this screenshot, but it does appear closer to another screenshot that I also have. Now, if we keep looking here, we will notice the flames coming off of people. Now, we enlarge this here, and we see in the active effects section some kind of upside down pot, it looks like. That is probably the power of Flame Demon for restoring health, I think. We also have Fire on Self, that was shown in the Pyromancy tree, causing damage to people who make direct physical contact or try to knock you back. We also have flame weapons activated, and if we check his toggles down here, he has the double fireball out the side, which I think is to deflect people coming at you from either edge. We also see he has a crossbow active, a fireball, and a flame blade power. So with this in mind, let's continue with the trailer. We also see a large boss-looking creature back here, but it mustn't be a boss because there's no boss HP line over it, and he also has a companion near him battling, which I believe is Edwin. He's also slamming enemies back. Now, if we check here, again, at his toggles, he has trap, crossbow, fireball, and flame weapons. So this is probably the same character, but at a lower level, as he can level up. We can also see the combat system has a little bit of physics problems, but hopefully they will iron that out in the future. Now, we'll move back on to regular videos now. We see him hacking up some Deadwalkers and how they just disappear into the ground. So maybe the Ice Lords don't like bodies around, they like rising bodies, but they don't like keeping them about. Now, we see that he's slowed down time then to avoid the attacks, which I think is a pretty cool ability that you can have as a ranger. Now, we'll move on to the screenshots. Here we see the protagonist surrounded by other versions of the protagonist himself. If we look on the right, we'll see that this demon is wearing the same armor as Relmar, the ranger companion. Not much else here to this area, except this is probably the beginning of the game, close to then, I think, as it shows customization. It also shows a strange house in a village, so maybe they'll have maybe a different beginning, depending on your choices. We also see Flame Demon here with a big ice castle in the background. Now this ice castle looks very, very similar to this one, shown here in a previous screenshot, with this weird worm monster. It looks like a bitch to deal with. Anyway, we see the Flame Demon's badass powers here, melting off half of the wolf's armor, also wielding this very cool battle axe. So I'm liking this screenshot because it shows the fact of hyper-offensive special attack versus a more balanced character. Now we see here Radram and the protagonist walking, with some farmers here wearing a face mask, a beggar behind him in a face mask, and an elf standing on top of a back building. Now, as you can't be an elf or a dwarf in Bound by Flame, I think the elves may actually be disease immune or something like that, because everyone else is wearing a mask, indicating this village may be in plague. You've probably gone to the village to see the Elder, as we saw before in the protagonist's main screenshots. This is a very similar environment. Now, we're going to this screenshot, which I think is one of the best. It shows off the stealth engine in the game, as well as preparing to backstab this giant ox demon, and show him who's got the real axe around here. Anyway, not much else to the screenshot, there's dead bodies everywhere, and it looks very similar to this screenshot here, showing that maybe you can approach this demon from various different ways to have a different state of battle against him. Now, this screenshot shows male and female versions of the protagonist, I believe, with a pretty cool skull back here on the hilt of her sword. Not much else to the screenshot, really. It's very similar to the environment of this big monster here, the Swamp Beast. But anyway, that is just about it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on my next video. And stay tuned, because Bound by Flame is only 2 weeks away. I'm already getting my copy ready and going. So, see you guys soon, and bye.